And live video starting. Maybe. And we're live. There we go. So good morning, everybody. Today's not just another Sunday. Today's Easter. And what I'm doing now is I am actually streaming live to, I don't know. I don't even know how big the audience is at the moment, but it's going out to multiple Facebook pages. It's on TikTok. It's on YouTube. It's going everywhere. And it's being sent live, so I don't know how many people are going to see it live, but it will be out there after the live is over so that everyone can see it. And I'm flipping back and forth between my cameras, so if I'm not looking at you the whole time, I apologize. So I just got an Easter message for you. I'm going to be quick with it. I'm not going to take up a bunch of your time. But today is Easter Sunday. Let's see if the microphone gets a little better if I talk into it. Today's not just another Sunday, it's a reminder that no matter how dark things get, no matter how broken the world may seem, there's still hope. There's still redemption, and there's still a chance to start over. Easter is about life overcoming death, light overcoming darkness, and truth standing firm no matter what tries to bury it. And that's important. The truth needs to stand firm. Out here in the woods with our family and our dogs, we understand, simply put, the world sometimes forgets. Life is a gift. Say that again. Life is a gift. Trust me, I know. I understand fully that life is a gift. Tradition matters, and the bond between us, that's worth protecting. So today, take a moment. Be thankful with your family. Love your dog. Be thankful for the land that's underneath your boots. And if you've been carrying something heavy, something that's been burdening you, today's a good day to put it down with a fresh start. From my family to yours, happy Easter. Now, I told you earlier there in the transmission that that I knew full well how much life was a gift, and it's so precious. I'm going to tell you a little personal story. Happened a few years ago. I was driving along, minding my own business, obeying the traffic laws, when a car crossed into my lane and with less than a second to react, hit me head on, and my heart stopped beating. It stopped beating for about 15 minutes. I was cut up and hurt pretty bad, but there was no blood inside the car. That's because a dead body doesn't bleed. I was in there about 15 minutes. So while I won't say I was completely dead, but I wasn't alive either. And while I was in this state, I call it being in the ether between worlds. I interacted with two supernatural beings that I can only call angels. They had on bright white clothing, the brightest white clothing I've ever seen in my life. And they were glowing. It almost looked like that the light was coming from underneath their clothing, and their bodies were emitting the light. It took me a minute to understand that I was actually dead, and when I saw my body slumped over the steering wheel in my car, that's when I really understood what was happening. And I was okay with it. I was at peace with it. I didn't have any pain. I didn't have any concerns. I didn't think about the problems in this life that we have. I just enjoyed being in the moment. And time did not really exist there. It was, you could see the past, you could see the future. And time didn't pass in a normal time. The 15 minutes that I was out only seemed like a few seconds. but at the same time, it seemed like years. I know that doesn't make any sense, but that's how it was. So I found myself being cradled by this angel. It held me the same way that you would think that a mother would hold a child. And it comforted me as I watched the paramedic check my vital signs, and then two other firemen checked my vital signs, and they all shook their heads because I was gone. They were discussing putting a tarp over my body to cover me up. Highway patrolman came to the scene, started filling out his paperwork, had me listed as killed at the scene on the paperwork. But he had to scratch that out because, and I may get a little tearful. I have a tough time telling this story without crying. So if I cry a little bit, I'm grown, and I can cry if I want to, right? So God had other plans for me. I still don't know what those plans are. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do and why I was chosen to come back when so many others have passed away. But that angel was holding me like a child and comforting me. The other angel wanted to take me with him, but the one holding me wouldn't allow it. The entire wreck was captured on the dash camera in my car, and it very well may have been my last statement to the world, but that changed because the angel spoke one word. It said, breathe. And this was not like you telling your friend that had had the breath knocked out of them, hey, catch your breath. This was a command. This angel commanded my body to work again. It commanded my soul to go back into my body. And when it said that one word, breathe, I suddenly felt pain. I knew I was injured. I knew I was hurt bad. But all the pain that I had not been feeling before all rushed to my body, and everything between my top of my head to the tip of my toes hurt. I've told this story to people, and they said, well, that was Jesus that came to help you. I didn't get the impression that I was dealing with Jesus or God directly. I got the impression that I was dealing with a servant of heaven, an angel. And I do know that it was an awesome being because it had the ability to control life and death. I'm tearing up again. I'm sorry. Um, but I thought back about after this is over, and I've been thinking back on it. I thought about what it would be like. I've also watched the TV show that's about Jesus and the disciples. It's on Amazon. I'm not going to call the name of it. I don't know if I'm allowed to. I'm doing live, so I'm trying to not violate copyright laws and such. But I've watched that, and I thought about what it would be like to have lived in that time and possibly been one of the disciples. When when they watched him raise people from the dead and heal people's wounds. And then he called them all together and said, I'm going to send you out to go on missions, and I'm going to give you temporarily the same power that I have. So, and they did. It's all documented in the Bible. You can read it as a historical document or you can read it as a work of fiction, but it's still a good book, and I recommend you read it. I can only tell you about my personal story. And my personal story is I died. My soul left my body. And I encountered a supernatural being that restored life to my body for some reason, and I have no idea why. But I am still here. And I will tell you that the time before the wreck was very different than the time after the wreck. I've struggled every day since the wreck. I don't um I don't know what comes next for me. I may die in the next 15 minutes or I may live to be 100. I don't know. But I do know that I won't be scared when it's time to go back because it was nothing to fear. I'm not saying I'm going to increase my chances of leaving today. I plan to stay here as long as God will let me, but I do know that it was nothing to fear. So today, Easter, a time of rebirth, I want you to spend time with your family. I want you to spend time with your friends. I want you to go out and enjoy the outdoors. Go outside, look at the sky. I think it's going to rain here in eastern North Carolina, so we may have to look at the sky pretty quick before it pours down rain on us. But Easter is a time of rebirth. The earth has gone through winter. All the trees have died. All the leaves fell. And Easter, right before Easter, everything starts to green up again. The um, the grass turns green. The trees bud. The flowers bloom. It's a beautiful time. What a beautiful time to be living on this planet. Take a moment, spend some time with your family, friends, coworkers. Go out and find somebody you really don't even like. Shake their hand and tell them you appreciate them. So this is about all the rambling I can do for a poor redneck from TicBite, North Carolina. I'm very humbled that across all of my pages I have a total of about 90,000 followers. And last month I had 21 million views. It's so humbling. It makes me wonder if this is what I was rescued from the car wreck to do, to put my face in front of a camera, talking to a microphone, and tell the story. So that's what I'm going to keep doing until I'm told to do something different. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to slowly end these live streams. Have a great day. Enjoy Easter. Get out there and do something fun.